Very good evening to you from the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas on the coastal bend. With the Gulf of Mexico right out the window to our left, it's time for Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Tonight the Wildcats look to build on an overtime loss from last night and take away 3 points from the weekend. They're wearing their road black sweaters. To start it off for the Cats, we'll have Bolio, Staub, and Litviak with Cam Knight and Matt Cook, the defenseman. Austin Shaw in the cage to our right as the Wildcats skate P to Q across your keyboard. Coming back the other way are the IceRays wearing their home whites with the red trim. Andrew Lindgren in the cage to our left as they skate Q to P across your keyboard. Eric Krasenchuk is the referee working the penalties tonight with the orange stripes on his arms. Kevin Brennan and Eli Rivera, the linesmen, same crew from last night who called a good game as it'll be stopped to go against Matt Colford in the opening face-off. Wildcats looking for a good early surge here and set the tone in this contest. Krasenchuk brings them together. The puck is down. We are under the way in the first period, brought to you by American Classified, as here is Cam Knight chasing this one back towards his own zone. LeBurn hooked him off it. No call-up coming here. The Wildcats can't gain possession. They'll chop this one out into the neutral zone, though, as Matt Colford will take this one here. Colford shifts it quickly along for Cortez. Spanks it off the glass into the neutral zone onto the stick of LeBurn. Cook intercepts. Now it's Bolio. He'll push it further along, but LeBurn will take it, and the IceRays start up the ice here. Anthony Cortez in his own zone now, trying to get past a couple of guys over the red line. His shot well wide of the cage. First to it on this near side was Jeff Baum. He left it behind, but Colin Staub was right there to step onto the loose disc and start up the ice. Bolio over the red line, over the blue line now. Here's Bolio. Pass cross ice. Townsend couldn't collect it cleanly. Townsend goes behind the net for Staub. Staub hooks it in front. Litviak on his offhand. Couldn't get it on the net. Here's Litviak still once more. Still hooks towards the front there off the outside of the cage. Staub in the right wing corner. Behind the net wanting Sherazin as the Cats have started up a change on the fly. Litviak now pressed into the wall. Sherazin protecting here. Loses out as Crenon will swat this one to the far side wall. Townsend towards the net. Goes up high and gets the glass on a one-timer on a bouncing puck. Baum couldn't hold this one in the zone. Townsend back at his own blue line will start up the ice once more. Here's Evan Oakley. Oakley miscontrolled that pass. Stepping onto it instead is Carl. He'll gain the red line and throw it deep in and then take a big bump there. IceRays look to send this one in front. Intercepted there by Sherazin as Oakley has some trouble with this one as well. Oakley fights through the check here and gains his own. Quick shot. Fought out there by Lindgren. Didn't see the rebound, but it's swatted away to the glass. Held in nicely by Knight. He gets a stick to it here. That negates the hand pass, but it's into the neutral zone either way, as this is on the stick of Spillum. Keenan Spillum, now Matt Olson. Olson at his own blue line will play this one down the ice. Someone got to stick to this one, so no icing here as Knight is the first back to it as we approach 2 minutes played in the scoreless first period. Some lineup shuffles for the Wildcats tonight. We'll get you those in the first stoppage, as this is Westby Shaw chasing this back into his own zone, as his counterpart, number 11, Tommy Apap, puts him under pressure. Almost turned over here, but Kuzin steps onto a loose puck. Sidesteps a big bump from Lazarus, as Knight will chase this one down and move it back into his own zone. Back for Matt Cook now. Cook, cross ice. Lazarus couldn't settle this one cleanly. Ramps into the offensive zone. Lazarus collects anyway towards the net. Save there. The rebound was behind Austin Albrecht. Picked up here by Kuzin. Kuzin charging up the ice. Tries to get it to Michaud. Rather, this is Melton. His shot save. Rebound covered by Shaw. And we'll get the whistle. 17:31 remaining in the first period. Scoreless here from the American Bank Center. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. And I mentioned some line shuffles for the Cats. Well, we see Sherazin with Farmer in the middle and Oakley on the right. That pushes Apap down. He'll center Lazarus on the right wing and Albrecht on the left. With Reisinger playing the left wing and Hinchin playing the right wing. With Paul Subri, that is the unit that's out there right now, as the aforementioned Reisinger picks this one up in his own zone and worked it to Azanaro. Azanaro over the red line. Played this one wide of the cage. Rebound Subri, couldn't direct it on net. Hooked towards the front of the cage there. This one is onto the stick of Frankie Melton. Melton in his own zone, curls around the circle and looks to come up the ice here, sidesteps Hinchin, and will look to get past Subri as well. On his backhand, pitched it into the right wing corner. Kruger the first to it there, served it back towards the front of the net. Reisinger intercepts. Dangerous pass here, but he was able to get it to Hinchin. Hinchin will try to charge this one down. Cortez hustling back as well, but this will trickle onto the cage of Lindgren, and he will cover up. Hinchin charged it down the ice. Not the fastest skater on this Wildcats roster, Austin Hinchin, but that was a smart play there, as he'll change the venue of the play, and the Wildcats will have an offensive zone draw. Nice to see Hinchin get in the lineup tonight. His parents made the trip down from Williston, North Dakota, as the faceoff will be to the left of Andrew Lindgren. A piece of stick was Aaron in the Wildcats defensive zone. Brennan, their linesman, picks it up, and now we're good to go as Staub will take the draw. Against Nate Breyer. Breyer washed out tonight, or washed out of the draw. He's back in tonight after being a scratch last night as Townsend goes down towards the corner off the faceoff. Litviak couldn't grab this one here as Pierre Crenon will take it for Corpus Christi. Pass there, nobody home. It's onto the stick of Bolio, who hooks it along for Staub in the neutral zone. Staub now, he'll chip to the right wing corner in pursuit. Under pressure here from Carl, but Staub will slam on the brakes. Tied up there, no call upcoming. Clean play by the defenseman as this is in the neutral zone once more. Litviak curls back into the offensive zone, loses out to Crenon. Loose puck there is held by Litviak, but he couldn't force it all the way around, and Crenon easily takes in his own zone. Crenon now retreating back to the safety of behind Lindgren's cage. Carl swung it right back to Crenon as we have 16:10 remaining in the first period. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as a big slap shot is on the cage of Shaw. He'll glove this one and holds, and we'll get the whistle. 16:05 remaining in the first, and as we'll have a faceoff coming to the left of Austin Shaw. That's something that we saw from the IceRays a bunch last night. They know they have team speed, so a couple of times last night and already once this evening, barely 4 minutes played, we see the defensemen just hammer at the length of the ice, and they let the speedy forward race down and negate the icing. Of course, this one was on cage, so it wouldn't have been an icing anyway, as this is towards the net, wide of the cage there, off the backhand from Nick LeBurn, as the Wildcats couldn't control the defensive zone faceoff. On the far side, they'll dig for it. Someone loses a glove. That was Jake Townsend, but we play on. Trying to swing towards the middle there for Colford was LeBurn, but instead it's Kevin Sherazin at the blue line. Sherazin now back to the middle for Farmer, puts on the brakes. His shot there canceled out and goes up and out of play. 15:44 remaining in the first. Now the Wildcats will have an offensive zone draw. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. That will take us to our first media timeout of the game. Farmer, not the first time this year he has played center, but he had been spending much of the time on the right wing. I'll be interested to see how this unit of Sherazin, Oakley, and Farmer will work together because you've got the speed of Farmer. Oakley is a strong skater as well, as is Kevin Sherazin. You've got the size and strength of Oakley and Farmer along the wall. So if those guys are up for the challenge, trying to dig the puck loose along the boards, this could be a very productive unit, especially with the finishing ability of Nick Farmer and, moreover, Kevin Sherazin. Now on the other line that's new tonight, APAP with Lazarus on the right and Albrecht in the middle. I'll be interested to see how that works out. Again, there's speed there with Austin Albrecht, who plays best, it seems, when it's really just Austin go out and play hockey. And with Tommy APAP, a smart defensive-minded center, or a smart two-way center, as they shouldn't call him defensive-minded, that sells his offensive ability short. He does have 36 points on the year. And we'll see how that one works. Lazarus and Albrecht do have some chemistry as well. They worked very well along with Colin Staub at the beginning of January. Although to be fair, or to be honest I should say, everybody seems to work well with Colin Staub. He's one of the play drivers on this Wildcats roster. 53 points on the year to lead the team, including 2 last night. Off the face-off, Farmer will serve this one towards the corner. His stick was slashed as this allows Tanner Lomzis to start up the ice. Lomzis tries to chip past Cam Knight. Can't do it. His stick was held. No call upcoming as Lomzis released it quickly. Oakley into the skates of Farmer, who has a fresh stick from the bench. Farmer and Sherazin will skate 2-on-2. Farmer driving this one wide. Backhander towards the net. Loose puck there behind the cage. Trying to dig it loose, but wiping out was Evan Oakley. It's picked up here by LeBurn. LeBurn will motor forward. Got it into the skates of Colford. Colford now Lomzis. Lomzis dusting it off. His shot blocked. Garams along. Here's Cortez. Slap shot saved there and held by Austin Shaw. Slap shot from the top of the right circle just around the wall. Gives Austin Shaw something to do here in the early goings of this contest. 15:10 remaining in this first period. Scoreless as we were last night. Remember the first period played out scoreless in Friday night's contest before 3 goals by the Wildcats in the second and 2 by the IceRays. The face-off will be to the left of Austin Shaw. Albrecht warned off encroachment here as the puck is down. Clean win by the Wildcats in their own zone as this is Matt Cook towards the cage of Shaw. Not sure where he was going with that one. Probably trying to get Cam Knight as Albrecht doesn't have a lane and he'll chase this one back. Quickly along for Jake Townsend now. Townsend back to Albrecht here as Matt Cook will take it for the Wildcats. Squared it along for Townsend. Townsend through the middle for Albrecht. Onside play for Austin Albrecht at the right wing circle. Tries to chip it towards the middle on his backhand. Blocked away to the corner. Lazarus digging for this loose puck there. Crenon will spike this one out of midair and move it along to Taylor Carl. Carl on the right wing side looks to start up the ice. His headman pass onto the stick of Michaud. Here is Michaud. Tries to get around Cook and does. Townsend the first to it behind the net. Left it there for Tommy Apap. Now Apap, the center out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, tries to move it forward. Pass to Lazarus intercepted. Lazarus checks back and sweeps it in deep, and the Cats will come to the bench for a change. Right on the forecheck there, almost dispossessed Michaud, but Michaud skates through it and moves forward. Onside play here, Shane Kosmeski the first to this one, as Kosmeski needs a passing lane and finds one. Reisinger was able to get this one up the ice. Now it's a 3-on-2. Here's Reisinger. Drop pass, nobody there. Subri now has an arrow. His shot wide there, and the rebound just eluded Reisinger. Kosmeski holds it at the left point. Reisinger along the wall, behind the net for Subri now. Subri checks it back there, needs some help as he's tied up along the wall by Olsen. Here's Hinchin in the right wing corner. Back behind once more for Subri as they'll battle for this one. Subri, Reisinger now behind the net. Here's Reisinger. Missed the handle here as Kosmeski steps on the wall to try and help out. Kosmeski tied up here. This allows the IceRays to pitch this one high up into the air, and this will go out of play. Went into the IceRays bench area, 13:37 remaining in the first period. We'll get a face-off coming in the offensive zone of the Cats. Scoreless here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Wherever you may be joining us from on this Saturday night, we thank you for doing so. Whether it be St. Petersburg, Russia, Moscow, Russia, might be Valding, Austria, could be Minnesota, North Dakota, Colorado, New York, New Jersey, wherever you happen to be joining us from, of course Colorado as well. We thank you for making us a part of your Saturday evening plans. Off that faceoff, good scrum there by Colin Staub. He'll win it loose, but his pass down low for Litviak was intercepted. Here is Kuzin now. Now it's Connor Kelly on the left wing side. Michaud with a step. Here's Michaud, good stick there. Kelly still with it. Still it's Kelly towards the net. Chipping around there, loose puck in front, and Shaw will step on top. Mayhem there, a loose puck in the zone. Kelly was somehow able to get it back and put it on the net, but Shaw was able to swallow up the rebound. 13-17 remaining in the first as we are even in shots on goal in the early stages of this contest, 4-4. Faceoff will be to Shaw's right. Staub will take the draw, going against Mason Kruger, who had the game-winning goal 39 seconds into overtime last night. Kruger washed out here, a little over-aggressive, so stepping in will be Frankie Melton. Staub going against Melton in the draw to Shaw's right now. This one tied up here. It's Cam Knight pulling it free and wheeling back behind the cage of Shaw. Here is Knight looking for an avenue up the ice. He has one. The right-handed defenseman gains his own toe drag there and chips towards the corner. Thought about pursuing, went back to his spot at the blue line. Here's Bolio. Now Litviak digging for it. Litviak on his backhand. Needs to play it to the blue line and does. Knight trickles it along for Matt Cook. Here's Cook. Softly towards the net. Lindgren blocks this one away to the corner. Staub trying to dig this one loose, as is Bolio. Bolio tied up along this near side half wall. Suicide battle develops as Staub, Litviak, and Bolio try to dig it free for the Black Sweaters. Here is Litviak in possession on his backhand. Floats it back down low behind the cage it goes. First to it there is Austin Bolio. Bolio battling for it. Where's the puck? Finally it's picked up, but Staub takes it away towards the net. Loose puck, jabbed at there by Bolio, but it skipped over his blade. 12:25 remaining in the first. Good sequence there by that line of Staub, Litviak, and Bolio. Good urgency and hunger for that puck in the offensive zone as both teams are in the midst of a change, and Cortez will slow this thing down. Now he'll start up the ice. Cortez looking for a lane now as he'll get to the blue line and wrap it hard around. Kosmeski intercepted his own zone. Banked it off the wall first. Farmer. Here is Farmer trying to get around Krenon. He wasn't able to do so as starting up the ice once more. Here comes Brad Liliev. Liliev hasn't played in about 6 games as he's back in the lineup. Plays this in deep, and Kosmeski will take it off of the stick of Shaw. Kosmeski, a little pass through traffic for Farmer. Oakley gets a stick to this one. That negates the icing. He'll hustle in after this one and try to throw Krenon off balance. It's away from Farmer now on the dump out. This sees Liliev move it forward for Chitwood. Chitwood trying to walk through the middle. Onside play, steered wide of the cage here by Austin Shaw. Sheridan left it behind the net there as an arrow along for Oakley. Oakley, look out here, pass into traffic. Here's a quick shot by Chitwood. Couldn't pull the trigger. Now it's towards the net. Blocked in front there by Kosmeski from the stick of Nate Breyer. Kosmeski wheels back in his own zone. Cats were in the midst of a change. Lazarus, Albrecht, and Apap getting out here as this is a nice pass up the ice for APAP to get it to Lazarus. Couldn't control that pass cleanly. Fed back around to this near side as it's on the stick of LeBurn. LeBurn trying to race down the ice and get past Townsend. Forward into the corner for Lomzis. Towards the middle there, hacked up there was LeBurn, as racing onto this one here is Lazarus. Lazarus with a jump in his step. He'll gain the offensive zone. Puts on the brakes here, looks to protect. Up to the blue line, here's Townsend. Under pressure, he'll go down the wall. Albrecht puts it on his skates in the corner, but loses out to this one as this is off the glass, and down the ice it goes. Will it go for icing? Yes, it will, as Townsend will be the first back to it with 10:47 remaining in the first period. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Scoreless here at the American Bank Center on a Saturday evening in March. Thanks for joining us, as thus far been a fairly even game. The Wildcats doing some good things in their offensive zone for the time being. Although that errant pass from Oakley looking for Farmer almost caused a whole lot of trouble. Here is Subri in the offensive zone off the faceoff. Couldn't force this one back to the point. Charging down the ice, it's Lomsness. Swatted away from him by Baum, as this is Baum picking this one up in his own zone. Moved it along for Reisinger at the left wing half wall. Reisinger steps inside Kuzin and starts forward. Reisinger now gains the offensive zone. Looks for a trailing pass. Here's Subri. Quick shot to flex. Goes up high and gets the glass. Townsend first to it on the far side wall. Back towards the net. Puck loose. And Lindgren just barely squeezes the pads as Reisinger came along with a little poke. 10:21 remaining in the first. Cats will get an offensive zone draw. As you like that play by Townsend to just throw it towards the net and see what happens. Reisinger was almost on hand to tap home a rebound. Max, who took a puck to the mouth last night in warm-ups. Looks like a hockey player tonight. Got a pretty big gash. Here's Litviak in the slot and a blocker save there off the face-off by Lindgren. Litviak gets his own rebound behind the net for Staub. Now it's Bolio. His shot flashes wide of the post. Cook stepping up here. Great keep there by the defenseman as Colin Staub will play this one along. Trying to meet it there on the far side is Austin Bolio. Instead, it's back behind the cage of Lindgren for Cortez as we played 10 minutes in a scoreless first period at the American Bank Center. Hammered all the way down the ice, wide of the cage of Shaw. This will be icing here as Matt Cook was the closest to it. Cortez not happy with his forward. I think he wanted Connor Kelly to race all the way down. Instead, with 9:51 remaining in the first, as we saw that play again from the IceRays. John Mechanic trying to say that should have been waved off. I don't exactly know in what realm that would have not been icing. Shaw made no move for it. He clearly wasn't deflected either way. Off the offensive zone faceoff, this is Oakley in the right wing corner. Oakley, where will he go with it? From the right wing half wall, he'll spin it back down behind the net. Here's Sherzin. Now Farmer can't hack it free. Sherzin in front, and Lindgren makes the save. Sherzin was on his backhand below the left circle. Couldn't get enough height on that one, as Lindgren was out at the top of his crease to cut down the angle. Good goaltending there by the 96-born Minnesota native. 9:39 remaining in the first. Faceoff will be to Lindgren's right, as Farmer, Sherzin, Oakley will stay out there with Kosmeski and as an arrow, the defenseman. Kosmeski in the shooting hole if Farmer can win it clean to him. He does, but it was just away from Kosmeski. Nice play there by Shane to chip it to the right wing wall. Loses the puck in some skates. Oakley digs for this one here. Penalty upcoming, and it's going to be against the Wildcats. What's the call? It's going to be a hooking call, and it's going to be on Shane Kosmeski. He knew it right away. So an offensive zone penalty, first call of the night. It goes against the Wildcats, and that will put them on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. And it has been well documented, the Wildcats' struggles on the PK. They were 2 for 4 last night. That means they are just 4 for their last 10 against the IceRays over the last 3 contests they played against each other. Colford will take the draw. Kuzin out there with Lomzis, Michaud, and Cortez, the big guns out there for the IceRays. As an arrow, Lazarus, APAP, and Townsend, the penalty killers for the Wildcats. Face off to Shaw's right. One here. It's Cortez. Pumps on a shot. Gave it to Kuzin. Kuzin towards the net. Deflected just wide there off the stick of Lomzis. Fed up to the right point. Cortez couldn't hustle along to keep this one, so the IceRays have to tag up. Back into the zone. Here's Lomzis. Lomzis can't get a shot away there as it's hooked towards the corner. Lomzis has it once more and gives to Colford. Colford. Now it's Kuzin on the far side. Kuzin spinning away from APAP. Where will Kuzin go with it? Up to the blue line and Cortez. Now it's Cortez with 9 minutes remaining in the first. Kuzin walking in. Backdoor pass. Hit the post there on the outside of the cage from Matt Colford, who couldn't pull the trigger on a one-timer. Cortez holds his zone. Now he's a shot by Kuzin blocked in front, and APAP can't clear it, but on a second attempt, Lazarus will chip this one down the ice. 45 seconds gone, and the penalty to Shane Kosmeski. 8:45 remaining in the first period. Starting it up the ice, here's Ryan Kuzin. At the red line, he'll leave it for Lomzis. Now wheel it along. Here is Michaud into the zone. Michaud at the left face-off circle. He'll take it behind the net here and rim it around the boards. Kuzin, right wing half wall. Subri puts him under pressure. Michaud has it here. Left it for Cortez. Now here's Kuzin. Back to Michaud in space. Holding, stepping around Sherazin. Michaud still with the puck. Trying to hook in front there through the blue paint. Nobody home on the back door. Now it's Cortez at the blue line once more. Michaud wanting it again. Cortez, one-timer wide. Puck loose there. Still it's loose. Sherazin has it and clears at the length of the ice. Shaw didn't know a lot about that rebound, but the Wildcats were still able to clear at the length. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Kosmeski. 8 minutes remaining in the scoreless first. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. This is Anthony Cortez. He's been out there for the entire 2 minutes of this power play thus far, gaining the zone. Here is Breyer. Breyer looking to play all the way around in front. Into the corner, he'll skate. Tries to go up the wall and does. Here is Jestro now. Jestro back to Breyer, right face-off circle. Shot popped up into the air. Townsend gloves it down. Puck is towards the net. Loose puck, and Breyer and LeBurn couldn't get it on the cage. Here's LeBurn. Into the corner it goes. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Kosmeski is out of the box. Hooked it into the stride of Oakley. Here is Oakley. He'll hold on this one and take it to the right wing wall through the net there as he was hoping, or through the blue paint, as he was hoping for Farmer, who was at the end of his penalty killing shift. So the Wildcats get the first clean kill of the game on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill as we're back to 5-on-5 with 7:10 remaining in the scoreless first. Here is Joe Chitwood. Has to skate from right to left as Litviak was in his grill as he'll play this one in deep. Cook will be the first to it behind his own net. Bolio had some trouble here, but he was able to ramp it into the neutral zone. All the way down the ice it goes. Comes up well short of icing as this is LeBurn in his own zone. Matt Cook now in his own end. Had some trouble with this one. He'll settle, punch it behind the cage of Shaw, and look to move it along to a teammate. Ramp this one up the high glass. This will go for icing here unless Litviak can beat it. He cannot, and we'll get the whistle with 6:42 remaining in the first period. Scoreless here. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as the faceoff will come to the left of Austin Shaw. And last night, the Wildcats, I mentioned it in the open, they gave up a whole mess of rubber on the cage of Shaw. 46 shots on goal. Not quite a season high, but very, very close. Off this face-off. Nice job here by Bolio to force it into the neutral zone. That allows the Wildcats to change as Bolio will hook it along. Litviak couldn't reach this one as he'll push Crenon back down low. Here is Frankie Melton as the Wildcats started up a change, won't finish it as Melton gains his own. Here's a partial 2-on-1, hook towards the front there. No penalty upcoming here as down in the corner it's Melton. Melton left it for Michaud now. Here's Michaud. Now Carl. Carl behind the net, looking to wrap around in front. His shot goes high and gets the glass on a wrap chance, looking for the top shelf. 6:05 remaining in the first. Here is Jestro. The IceRays, since their power play, have had the better of the play here. This is Kosmeski in his own zone. Along to the far side, Hinchin, now it's Reisinger. Reisinger, toe drag, left it behind here, got a little too fancy. Staub gets away with a tripping call there, as he definitely took down Michaud, but he gets a little bit lucky. We play on at 5-on-5. Hinchin, softly back to Kosmeski. Kosmeski, hard up the ice for Reisinger. Reisinger turned it over at his own blue line. Kosmeski good step there to force it along. Now it's Subri jabbing it forward. Wildcats living dangerously as they have to protect the puck better at their own blue line. Reisinger gains a zone in front. Here is Knight now holding left circle. Tip there, and it just went wide as Subri got a deflection on it. Subri tries to go back behind the cage. He does. Here's Reisinger. Can't hook out in front as Jestro puts him under some pressure. Tanner launches this one, flips this one down the ice. Best scoring chance of the night for the Wildcats as it was deflected but just ramped up high. Here is Knight. His shot steered wide there on the stick of Lindgren. Nice reach there by Hinchin to try and hold the zone as APAP comes along to help out. APAP was fresh from the bench, loses out on this one as LeBurn starts it forward, tipped it along the wall for Lomzis. Here's Lomzis in the right wing corner in the last 5 minutes of this first period. Lomzis still with the puck, upended, played it up to the blue line. Jestro slap pass, puck loose in front, and it was in the skates, but it was cleared away for Austin Albrecht to grab. Here is Albrecht, banks this one forward, wanting APAP. Will this be icing? No, as APAP will hustle along and put Cortez under pressure. Rather, Cortez, beg pardon. Albrecht, back down behind the cage it goes. Now it's off to the right wing half wall where Townsend takes in the right wing corner. Townsend, someone needs to step up to that right point. APAP does exactly that as Lazarus and Albrecht continue to dig for this one. Away there by Colford and now up the ice for LeBurn. LeBurn serves this one wide of the cage of Shaw as both teams are working on a change. 4:10 remaining in this first. Farmer miscontrols, wipes out. Here's Kelly. Now the pass for Michaud. Was behind Michaud. Michaud. Now Carroll across the blue line. At the right circle. Pass through the middle there. Swatted away. And Cronon has to chase it back in between the blue lines. Here's Cronon as Sheridan puts him under some pressure. Michaud can handle this one cleanly. Townsend stepping up here. Townsend. Penalty upcoming here. It's against the IceRays. And we'll get the whistle. So the Wildcats got away with a trip on Colin Staub, and Wes Michaud is going to get whistled for a trip for the IceRays. With 3:49 remaining in the first, the Wildcats will head to their first power play of the night. And we're 0 for 3 on the man advantage last night. And now just 2 for their last 16 on the man advantage are the Wildcats. 4 for 21. Month of March, although they still boast the league's top power play unit, 25.8%. That's 51 for 198. Even better on the road, as they are 27.2% successful on the road. Back to the point here is Cam Knight off the faceoff. Now Townsend, high slot, dusts it off, backdoor pass, no goal, they score on the rebound. It was loose in front. The first chance was for Staub. It was saved. He celebrated, saw it didn't go in, and tapped it home. Colin Staub, his second of the weekend, third of the week, 23rd of the season. And the Wildcats strike first just 7 seconds into the power play. It hit the post, and then Staub was on hand to sweep it in off the rebound. So give Knight and Townsend assists on that one. Wildcats strike first with 3:42 remaining in this first period on the man advantage, as that breaks a little bit of an over from last night. Kosmeski, good step there through some traffic. Now for Sheridan. Sheridan spinning off a hit. Kosmeski getting in the zone. Quick shot save there and steered away from danger. Oakley first to it there on the far side wall. Held in nicely by Azanero. On a second attempt, he'll have to chase it into the neutral zone. Loses out here. Charging forward. Here's Liliev. Now it's Chitwood swept away on the back check by Farmer. Following up Jestro. In front! Scores! Wildcats give it right back. Jestro with a big slap shot from the blue line. It was blocked in front, and I think it might be Chitwood who tucks it home. The immediate shift after, and that has been burning the Wildcats. They swept it away. Azanaro was late getting back. Jestro goes down low, and a nice goal there by Chitwood. Azanaro kept it on the far side wall, but he wasn't able to get it all the way down the ice, then couldn't hold the zone and got beat trying to get back. Tough break there for Austin Azanaro, and the Wildcats, who had the lead, are now trailing, or are now tied up, I should say. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. It's still only 1-1, as this is Matt Cook moving it along for Reisinger. Reisinger checked down from behind. No call up coming. To the neutral zone it goes, as Colford plays this one away from Hinchin. Now it's Olsen. He puts this one clean up and out of play. Look out up there in the stands with 2:53 remaining in the first period. Get the face off in the neutral zone. They do give the goal to Joe Chitwood. So for Chitwood, that is his third of the season. Chitwood been in and out of the lineup with suspensions. He's been suspended for a total of 10 games. As this is Matt Cook behind the net. Cook pressed hard into the wall there, fed towards the middle. Here's Colford, and he picked up his head before he could pull the trigger. Hinchin will skate this one wide. Now getting the zone. Onside play there as Hinchin played this one off the cage. On this near side, Subri will dig for it. He'll send it back to the corner, but Keenan Spillum the first to it there with 2:20 remaining in the first. As the Wildcats, that's exactly what they didn't want to happen in their own zone. They got caught scrambling a little bit. They swept it away, but couldn't clear the zone. As clearing the zone here are the IceRays. Townsend chases it back into his own zone. His pass, Albrecht, nice poke check here to move it forward. Here's Albrecht now, trying to get around one man, loses out. Lazarus comes along to help out and left it in the corner. Here's Lazarus now from Albrecht. Back around, looking for Albrecht there, spiked away from him by Pierre Cronon on a good read by the big Frenchman. In front of his own bench area. Turned it over to Kruger. Offside play, just barely. And that'll draw the whistle, as Kruger not happy with the call, but Brennan was in a perfect position across the way to blow that one dead. Minute 47 remaining in the first. 1-1 the score. Collins stopped for the Wildcats, and then barely 30 seconds later, Joe Chitwood for the IceRays. Shots on goal, 11 to 7 in favor of the Cats. At least according to the big board here at the American Bank Center. Cook now Staub, dangerous pass there, but it came off no problem as Staub has to curl back, and he'll play it along for Cook. Cook up the ice wanting Litviak. Litviak trying to get involved here, left it behind, safely back to Cam Knight to gain the zone. Knight from the red line plays this one in deep, as around behind the cage it goes. Linger and leaves it there for a teammate. Nice play here by Staub to keep at the half wall. He'll walk in front. Here's Staub. Backhander towards the middle there. Mugged off the puck as we play on as his stick was broken. Here is Kuzin now. Cross ice pass off the stick of Kelly as Knight will jab at this one here, and it's forced to the neutral zone by Litviak. Farmer comes onto the ice for Colin Staub. Sharazin now onto the ice as well. This one played in deep. Lively bounce off the back wall there as Cam Knight touches it into the left wing corner for Matt Cook. In the last minute of play in the first period, brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Back up the ice. Here's Ryan Kuzin. Kuzin puts on the brakes. Now it's Michaud in the slot, jabbed away from the stick, and Michaud tumbles down to the ice as he got tangled up with Matt Cook. No call-up coming here as Krasnichuk letting him play thus far. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Farmer lost his twig. Now here's Michaud with a step slap shot. Partially canceled out there by Matt Cook as he got it in the shooting lane. Nice play there by Matt. Now here's Farmer down the left wing wall in the last 30 of the period. Farmer gains his own. Left circle, holding on it towards the middle there, and it was blocked away as Oakley was crashing the net. Coming back up the ice, here's Ryan Kuzin with 20 remaining. Kuzin force wide there, and a good stick by Baum will allow Townsend to pick this one up in his own zone. Along for Evan Oakley. Oakley touched it along to nobody in particular. Liliev sends this back in deep with 10 seconds remaining in the first. Shaw along for Baum, quickly bumped off the back wall for Townsend. Now it's Subri. Subri will backhand this one down the ice, and that should do it in the first as Reisinger couldn't get to that one, and the horn will sound. So, an even 20 minutes here at the American Bank Center. A power play apiece. The Wildcats struck on theirs. They killed off the IceRays power play, but after scoring at 16:18, they give the goal right back to Joe Chitwood at 16:45. At the end of one, we're deadlocked 1-1. Shots on goal 12-7 in favor of the Wildcats. We'll step aside and break, and when we come back, we'll break it all down. We'll also hear from Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. We'll continue just after this here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Here at the American Bank Center, first intermission in Corpus Christi. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. 1-1 the score after 20 minutes of action. Colin Staub's 23rd of the season gave the Wildcats a very, and I do mean very, short-lived lead, as barely 30 seconds later, 27 to be precise, Joe Chitwood scored from Logan Jestro and Brad Liliev to tie this one up 1-1, sending it into the break deadlocked. Shots on goal in the first frame, 12-7 in favor of the Wildcats, as we saw some better things from the Wildcats defensively in their own zone. Still some guys getting too fancy at their own blue line, needing to simplify, but for the most part, the body of work has been better tonight than we saw last night in the defensive zone. Without any further ado, though, we'll hear from Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine, who I had a chance to speak to earlier today. With you Wildcats fans, joining me now is Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine as the Wildcats look to rebound from an overtime loss against the IceRays last night with a big win here this evening. And John, a bit of a disappointing ending to last night's contest. The Wildcats held the lead 3-2 entering the third period, but couldn't seal the deal and come away with the loss in overtime. What were your main takeaways from last night's contest?
Well, Ben, we got outworked in the second period. We got outplayed in that period, and still come away with the lead was amazing. And then we had some breakdowns that you just can't do. Again, our penalty killing cost us a little bit. Undisciplined penalties at the wrong times. We don't have everybody on board thinking playoff hockey, understanding what it takes at this time of year to play the game.
Having said that, and having had the last few hours to decompress over that loss and reflecting on it, what's your general takeaway from the way your team reacted to last night's game?
When we were going through the game, Ben, especially in the second period, it seemed as though they were just pressuring us so much and making plays on us, and we were just falling asleep defensively. Well, when you look at the film, almost every one of those opportunities, we had clear opportunities to break the puck out. We got to the pucks first. It wasn't them getting to the pucks. We got to the pucks first, didn't use our first easy option. Instead, try to do something tougher, try to stretch pass or try to beat a guy. When we had guys open right away, we just weren't reading the ice. We were trying to do too much, Ben. And we made it so tough on ourselves in our own zone. And the guys obviously get to see that. But you can't play, you can't give teams opportunity in your offense, in your D zone. And, that when they're on the offense, we need to make quicker plays. We need to go north quicker, get the puck out of our zone in the easiest fashion we could, in the easiest way, not take the hardest routes, but the easiest routes. And it was frustrating to watch, but it wasn't them just having this unbelievable forecheck on us. It was us turning the puck over and not moving the puck quick enough.
Fair to say that it's the focal point tonight will be simplify.
And that's what we've been saying for 2 weeks. So we've been trying to get the guys to understand that it's different brand of hockey this time of year. Everybody is more conservative. Teams are fighting for their life, so they're defending that much stronger. There's 3 and 4 guys back. You don't see the flow of up and down hockey, odd man rushes, and unless we our guys understand that, we're going to continue to struggle. Now, each game there seems to be a few more signs that we're getting there, and hopefully last night was the wake up call we needed.
Never a bad thing necessarily to face adversity as you head down the stretch run, John, but what do you look for out of your team in a response tonight after a loss at home against Amarillo on Wednesday and then that loss last night? What do you look for out of your team early in the game, and who do you look to really lead this rebound effort, I should say?
Well, yes, obviously I think you're going to see a response, and this team has been pretty good at responding when not playing up to its standards, up to its capability, and the guys that are going to make the difference for us are Cook, Knight, and Townsend. They've led us in some offensive categories. They're smart hockey players, some of the best plus-minus players in the league, best defensemen in the league. Those three as a whole, I don't think there's a team that has three with those abilities all on one team. But they also have to understand that they have to change their game a little bit now too. They've got to make quicker decisions. They've got to put defense before trying to make that extra play. Those three were trying to do too much last night.
One buzzword we've heard over the last few games, John, is warriors. You want your guys to be warriors. You want them battling hard in the corners, and you want them fighting with every ounce that they've got to try and win that puck back. Did you see enough of that last night? And following up on that, do you expect to see more of it tonight?
There's a few guys that didn't show up, and those guys didn't get to see the ice very much in the third, and they know they've been challenged. But as a whole, we've got a bunch of guys that can play anybody on the road. We're not intimidated. It's for a couple guys. It's competing harder on the road, understanding what it takes to compete on the road, and getting to the pucks first. For others, it's just simplifying their game a little bit more and playing a little bit more sounder, quicker, at a quicker pace, recognizing that turnovers in certain areas right now this time of year.
Who was out last night, Paul Subary, back in this evening, and Wildcats seem to struggle a little bit on defensive zone faceoffs, but with Subary back in the lineup, he can bring another weapon in the faceoff dot coming down the stretch. What have you seen out of Subary, and also Tommy Apap, who's been very good in the dot as well over the last few weeks? Have they been putting in extra work in practice trying to improve on faceoffs? Because it seems like those two have been solid in the dot over the last few weeks.
No question, and yes, anytime we have extra ice, centers are most of the time working on face-offs, trying to learn new techniques. We had a session just on Thursday, and Subary was one of the best. Of course, then he didn't feel good Friday and got sick on us, but he's been consistently very strong on the face-offs and continues to get better, and as well as APAP and Staub and Alex Falconer, and of course Yeager is hurt, but they know that's an area they want to improve.
Any final thoughts before we let you go? Any final keys to the game this evening?
Well, Ben, we're on the road. We've got to dictate the game. We've got to go to the net stronger. We've got to manage the puck better, and then we've got to be stronger defensively away from the puck. So, if we move the puck quicker in our own end and we funnel into our end a lot better, we're usually a tough team to beat.
All right, John, thanks for your time. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look around the North American Hockey League on the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard, as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will return just after this. American Bank Center, you just heard from Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network, as now we're going to take a look around the goings-on around the North American Hockey League on the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report. We start in Odessa, where Topeka is up 1-0 over the Jackalopes after a big 9-2 win last night. Topeka has an early lead. Daniel Brickley with the goal, and as I mentioned earlier, some bad news for everybody else in the North American Hockey League. Matej Tomek, one of the best goaltenders in the league and one of the top goaltending prospects in this 2015 NHL draft upcoming, is back in net. Thus far, he's made 9 saves on 19 shots. Of note, the Jackalopes have only dressed, they've only dressed 19, it looks like, as it also appears that they have not dressed a backup goaltender. Either way, that's neither here nor there, as they continue to trail 1-0. In Rio Grande Valley, just a couple of hours down the road from where we are, it is currently zeros on the board between the Brahmas and the Killer Bees. Killer Bees looking to pad their 1-point lead over the Amarillo Bulls for that sixth and final playoff spot in the South Division, while Lone Star looking to build their advantage at the top of the South Division. In Amarillo, as I just alluded to, Wenatchee has a 1-0 lead over the Bulls. However, they had a lead last night before a furious third-period flurry gave Amarillo a lead to tighten things up at the bottom of the division. 1 point separating three teams in 5th, 6th, and 7th in the South Division. As also a very tight race at the top as the Brahmas, Roadrunners, and Wildcats are bunched up as well. Outside of the South Division, Johnstown 2, Michigan 5, the Warriors desperately needing points this weekend. As I said, they pretty much needed a sweep this weekend to have any chance of staying alive, and as of right now, with 2 periods in the books, it looks like they are on track to do just that after they picked up a solid 5-3 win last night. 3-0 the Sioux Eagles leading the Keystone Ice Miners, as that one is in the second intermission there, and Sault Ste. Marie in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. 2-2 between the Jets and the Minnesota Magicians after 1 period of play. Last night, it was 3-2, Janesville getting the win on a goal in the last minute and a half on the power play to break the Minnesota Magicians' 5-game win streak. 1-1 between the Bruins and the Wilderness. The Wilderness 2 points back of Fairbanks, who have a 2-point lead in the Midwest Division for the division title, but the Wilderness have played 3 fewer games than the Ice Dogs. Those aforementioned Ice Dogs leading 1-0 over the Bismarck Bobcats currently after 20 minutes of play. In Aberdeen, the Wings lead the Brookings Blizzard 1-0 as they continue to try and lock down that playoff spot, but Brookings with a win tonight would pull within 1 point with a game in hand of the Aberdeen Wings. Getting the win last night was Brookings 2-1 to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Zeros on the board in Springfield, the Junior Blues hosting the Cooley Region Chill. Cooley Region picked up Springfield picked up a 5-4 overtime win in last night's contest. Minot 0, Kenai River 0. They're getting set to get underway there in the next 5 or 10 minutes, as that is the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report. We'll keep an eye on those scores throughout the remainder of the night. Until then, we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have more Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing from the American Bank Center. Back in a moment on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Set to get back to it here at the American Bank Center. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network with a sack of groceries over my right shoulder here in Corpus Christi. Anyway, two teams will change ends as there's an HEB mascot in the house tonight that has given me a little bit of a start. Teams change ends here. We'll start up 5-on-5 in this second period. Now in the cage to our right as the IceRays skate P to Q across your keyboard. Austin Shaw now in the cage to our left. As the Wildcats counter left to right, that is Q to P. 1-1 the score, shots on goal 12-7 in favor of the Wildcats. As the IceRays are outscoring their opponents 63-62 in the second period of games this season, but hold the phone, the Wildcats are outscoring opponents 84-56 in the second period. So we'll see what gives, if anything. Off the face-off, the Wildcats control. We're underway in the second period, brought to you by American Classified, as Litviak has this one, tries to go across ice for Bolio. Bolio couldn't corral cleanly. Off the back wall, he'll put it on his backhand and play in deep. 15 seconds elapsed here in the American Bank Center, second period. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network, as this is Jeff Baum. Now it's Litviak. Litviak looking for an avenue. Now it's Townsend gaining the zone. Townsend has a step. Looking to cut in front. Here's Townsend. Loose puck there as he'll re-corral and look to play to the point. His pass. Baum. Nice step there as Litviak will hold the zone. Litviak. Bolio. Left circle. His shot flashes it wide to the right-hand post. Townsend wheels back, holds, blocked in front, Bolio shot, loose puck there, they score! It's Staub, his second of the night, and the Wildcats lead in the first 47 seconds of this second period. Litviak's shot, rather I should say, Bolio's shot was saved, the rebound was spilled, and Staub was on hand. Johnny on the spot was Colin to swat it home for his 24th of the year. Wildcats waste no time getting on the score sheet here in the second period. I guess they must have eaten their orange slices in the intermission, gotten that little bit of an energy boost. Sheridan will race this one down the right wing, wall swept away, loose puck, caroming around Sheridan, has it in his skates. Can't pull his stick free and get it down low to a teammate. As a two-a-side battle, sees Farmer pull it free. Farmer dusts this one off, and I just found out his parents are in the stands this weekend and will be down in Rio Grande Valley next weekend as they take a nice little trip to see Nick Farmer complete the last few weeks of the regular season of his junior career. He's a 94, one way or another. This is his last go-around with the Cats. Here's Michaud gaining the zone, trailing play, look out, Kuzin shot goes wide and gets the glass. Settling this one on a bouncing puck here is Nick Farmer. He'll roll this one down the ice. Took a big bump, none the worse for the wear, as Carl moved it along Michaud, gaining the zone. Michaud, Carl holds this one in, walking down the slot, shot, flashed it wide of the cage. Picking up the rebound here is Kuzin, left circle. Kuzin, middle of the blue line now. Carl takes it to the right wing wall. Back for Crenard, towards the net, wide of the cage. Rebound is onto the stick of Kevin Sheridan, as Sheridan will play this down the ice. Oakley got to stick to it here. That will negate the icing and allow the Wildcats to start up a change. Not able to finish it up, though, as this is onto the stick of Kuzin. Kuzin now will protect here at the left face-off circle, spins back to the point. Kuzin through the middle there, and a good stick by Cook. Chipped it over the blade of a collapsing Spillum through the crease. Behind the net it goes. Here's Keenan Spillum. Stuff attempt on the back wall, or off the back wall. Now Kuzin picks up the rebound. Kuzin dusts it off, up to the blue line for Olsen. Olsen towards the net. Blocked there by Lazarus. Hammered towards the net there by Spillum. Steered wide by Shaw. Lazarus couldn't get there first. It's Kuzin, and Knight will take this one in the high slot and flip it into the neutral zone. Wildcats trying to finish up a change here. Matt Cook and Cam Knight very tired at the end of this shift. This one down the ice onto the tape of Apap at the offensive blue line. Apap trying to gain the zone. Hooked it into some space across the way there as an offside play. We'll see the Wildcats tag up, but it allows Cortez to take possession in his own zone. Turned it over almost to Lazarus, but instead it's into the neutral zone where Cook will feed this along. Apap will chop this one free. Can't get the puck in deep with 3 minutes gone in the second period, and the Wildcats leading 2-1. Far side it's played. Chitwood has some trouble with it there as now Olsen tied up by Apap. Chitwood will take this off a nice little pass from Breyer, and taking a penalty was Austin Albrecht. Look out here, delayed call on. This is an onside play. Wildcats looking to touch up here, and they'll do just that as Kosmeski takes a little extra bump from Nathan Breyer. Austin Albrecht let his stick get a little bit loose, and the Wildcats, up 2-1, are going to be heading to the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill for the second time this evening. This to Jake Townsend and Austin Bolio on Colin Staub's second of the night. Faceoff will be coming to the right of Austin Shaw as the Wildcats will go to work on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. The IceRays, 2 for 4 last night, now 2 for 5 on the weekend after their first chance came up empty. Off the faceoff, cleared but not all the way down as Oakley couldn't get his stick all the way free. Here's a slap shot, goes high and gets the glass. Big bomb from the blue line there by Jestro. Subri couldn't clear. Now it's Kelly walking towards the middle of the point. Shakes around Subri, now towards the net, save there, and it's steered wide. Here is Breyer. Spun back down behind the cage, it goes for Chitwood. Chitwood has it taken away from him. Townsend tries to clear, wasn't able to get it past Kelly. Kelly holds on a slap shot, can't play down low, gets it right back though. Kelly towards the middle of the ice. Kelly in the high slot, loading his shot, deflected in front and gets the glass. Subri tries to dig this one down the boards and does, as the Wildcats will start up a change. 40 seconds gone in the hooking minor, rather the tripping call to Austin Albrecht at 3:15 of the second period that has the Wildcats on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. 4 minutes played in the second. Cats holding a 2-1 lead, a 1-goal lead. Look out, given away here by Michaud. Bolio steps in shorthanded. His shot off a leg and goes wide. This will flip up and out of play. As where will they put the puck? I'll say that's in the neutral zone. I thought for sure that Bolio's shot was deflected, but they'll move the face-off into the neutral zone with 15:46 remaining in the second period and a minute and 1 second remaining on the penalty to Austin Albrecht. No real arguments on where the face-off is being placed, so it might have just been a rolling puck that caused Bolio to shoot it errantly. Either way, off the face-off in the neutral zone, Staub will push it forward towards the cage of Lindgren. Kuzin is back there, taking a couple of stick hacks from Bolio, but he'll move it up the ice nonetheless. Here is Kuzin now at the red line. Center ice, now over the blue line comes Kuzin, intercepted here, but Kuzin gets it right back. He'll rim it around the boards. Comes along to Colford at the left side. Colford now, middle of the blue line, here's Cortez. Holds on a big slap shot, shot in front, blocked down there, and Bolio will take this one away. Chipped it along, wanting stop, partially intercepted here, as back up the ice, here come the IceRays. Here is Lomsness, good stick there, but he'll skate past Matt Cook nonetheless. Lomsness, behind the net it goes. Colford will chase to the left wing corner here, as Knight puts him under pressure. Here's Cortez, pass, Kuzin, high slot, winds, fires wide of the cage. 17 seconds remaining in the penalty to Albrecht. This is cleared and just skips over the stick of Kuzin into the neutral zone. Just over 5 minutes gone in this second period. This is Lomsness up the ice once more, given to Wes Michaud. Michaud, Kuzin trailing. Kuzin at the right wing circle, looking to go all the way around in front. Kuzin looks to play a pass and goes behind the net. Out of the box is Albrecht. Stuff in front there. Oh, and a great left pad save by Austin Shaw as Albrecht gets a good bump up high as picking up the puck. Here's Colin Staub. Staub will chase this one and run it down the ice. Will it be icing here? No, Sharazin will beat the whistle. Sharazin tied up there, but a smart play by Kevin as that allows the Wildcats to get a change on. Here is Frankie Melton starting it up the ice for Corpus Christi. Onside play here. Upended there was Melton. Might have been a tripping call. Instead, it works its way into the neutral zone. Wildcats getting a little bit lucky there. Serve back in deep. Will this be icing here? No, it will not. Interesting. Well, anyway, we play on. This is Crenon playing it back down low. Wildcats have to be careful here, running around a bit in their own zone. They give it away to Howe. Bouncing puck towards the front of the net there, and Melton couldn't find a teammate. As an arrow, can't clear. Serve back down low to the right wing corner. Kosmeski first to it there. He'll go for the bump. This is exactly what Coach LaFontaine was talking about, with the Wildcats falling in love with that bump play. Here's Azanaro now behind the net. He'll just rim this one along. Held in, slap shot. Loose puck there at the doorstep. Shaw didn't have to make a save. It was blocked in front. Here's Frankie Melton having some trouble with it there. Held in at the right wing point by Carl. Carl shakes it towards the net. Deflected and goes wide. Picked up once more by Howe. Now it's behind the net for Farmer. He'll lead it along Sharazin. Jabs this one into the neutral zone. It goes as Oakley plays, but not all the way down the ice. Wildcats have to be careful here. They're going to get caught in a change. Charging forward. Look out. Here's Kruger. Shot. Steered wide there by Shaw. Rebound picked up by Kruger on the near side wall. And now it's on the stick of Apap, but he turned it over to Howe. Here is Melton in front, swatted away from the cage by Austin Shaw as Melton was blown up there. Wanted a penalty, none coming. Here's Lazarus with a step now charging down the ice, and he lost the handle at the crucial moment as he cut inside. Townsend will keep. He'll play down along the boards. To the far side it runs for Austin Albrecht. Albrecht now for Lazarus. Let it run over his stick there as Townsend takes this one in the right wing side. APAP from the half wall to the corner for Lazarus. Lazarus protects here, plays down towards the corner, wanted APAP. APAP canceled his man out. Here's Albrecht curling around to the corner. Albrecht circled towards the net, loose in front. Here's Lazarus, turnaround shot blocked there, as not having to make a save. A man is down, and it's a Corpus Christi skater, but we play on. That should have been blown dead, but Olsen gets back to his feet, and getting blown up there was an IceRays skater. Townsend's going to take a cross-checking call. 12:22 remaining in the second. Olsen was very slow to get back to his feet. Krasichuk was seconds away from blowing it dead. As getting a minor here will be Jake Townsend. 2 minutes for cross-checking. So the Wildcats living dangerously. 2 for 2 on the penalty kill thus far, but they're going against an IceRays squad on the power play that is one of the tops in the league on the year. 7th, to be precise, 20.5% exactly. Found it interesting that Krasichuk didn't play dead there when Corpus Christi touched that one up with the skater down. But anyway, we play on. Cortez walking towards the middle off a face-off win. Here's Kuzin. His shot steered wide there by Shaw. Might have hit his blocker, and it goes up and out of play. 12:12 remaining in the second. 1:51 remaining on the Wildcats' third penalty kill of the evening, brought to you by Gilmore's Collision Center. But just a moment ago, you saw something there that was a little interesting and something that burned the Cats last night. Wes Michaud scored a power play goal after a puck was blocked in front, and Shaw never got around the mess of bodies to look. That time, he was very eager to look in front and find that loose puck before it was shot on net. This one off the face-off, chopped down the ice by Austin Bolio, as Lindgren will move this one back along to be played by Cortez. 8 minutes gone in this second period. Here is Cortez. Now it's Kuzin. Kuzin back for Cortez in the neutral zone, as now it's Wes Michaud. Michaud, drop pass here for Colford. Colford at the circle. Now behind the net he goes for Michaud. Michaud quarterbacking things along the way, as this is up to the blue line for Kuzin. Kuzin steps inside Bolio. Up to the blue line, Michaud. On his backhand, now his forehand. Holds on it. Now it's Kuzin holding once more. Shot, glove save by Shaw. 11:37 remaining in the second. Sharp flash of the weather there by Austin Shaw, as he comes up with a big glove save on Ryan Kuzin from the right face-off circle. Minute 16 remaining in the penalty to Jake Townsend. It was a cross-checking call. 7:38 of the second period. The Wildcats have taken 3 penalties tonight. The IceRays have taken 1. 11:37 remaining in this second period. Face off, the Wildcats had someone upended. They weren't able to clear the zone. Now Oakley might race away. Kuzin trying to hustle back. Oakley trying to cut towards the net. Oakley hooked off it, couldn't get a shot away. Kuzin down behind the net here. Oakley protects in front, wanting Subri, and it was just away from him. Here's Azanaro now in the neutral zone on his backhand. He'll pitchfork this one down the ice and kill off a few more seconds. Wanting a change there was Subri, as he'll send Farmer and Sherazin onto the ice on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. Here's Michaud walking down the middle. Trailer for Colford. His shot fought off there by Shaw, and it gets the glass. Cortez couldn't hold this one in. Sherazin putting him under some pressure. Here's Sherazin, reaches this one. Sherazin forced towards the corner. Nice play. Sherazin trying to work his stick free. Punch down from behind. Krasichuk says no call, as he decides that one was legal enough. Here is Wes Michaud trying to skate through Farmer. Farmer seals him off, but Michaud continues on. Nice skate there by Wes Michaud. Hook towards the front of the net off a leg and goes to the back wall. Knight hammers this one around the glass, and it escapes into the neutral zone with 15 seconds remaining in the minor to Townsend. Michaud walks back in outside the right face-off circle, drops a shoulder, looking to cut in front. Shot canceled out there from the stick of Chitwood, as Sherazin got a stick in the shooting lane. 3 seconds remaining in the penalty to Townsend. Top of the zone here is Crenon. Left side, Crenon shakes it towards the net, deflected. Loose puck is spilled. Still it's loose. Everybody's tumbling down to the ice, and Farmer picks this one up and will play this one up ahead for Sherazin. Sherazin protects, has it jabbed off his stick. This is an onside play. Here is Michaud. Where will he go with it? Takes it to the right wing wall. Up to the blue line. Here is Jestro. Big slap shot. Blocked down in front. Didn't get through. Knight wasn't able to take this one off the stick of Michaud. Knight pulled Michaud down. Gets away with a call. Stop. Back behind the net it runs. As an arrow hustling along there, as is Sherazin, but Chitwood the first to it. He'll move it for Liliev. In the right wing corner, finally it's onto the stick of Sherazin, who puts this one high up into the air and chips it down the ice. Townsend hustling after this one to keep it from being an icing, as finally the Wildcats will get up a change. 9:30 remaining in this second period. Crenon galloping forward into the offensive zone. Gets around a man in front there looking for Chitwood, and the pass didn't get all the way through. Loose puck there by Baum, and no danger there as it was swatted away to the back wall. Here's Crenon. looking to play down the ice. Staub gets it up onto the stick of Bolio now. Bolio skating forward and gaining the zone at the blue line. Bolio wanting a trailer play, finds Bomb. Bomb to the corner for Staub. Shot fought off by Lindgren. Loose puck, and Lindgren covers the rebound. 9:07 remaining in the second. Nice little play there by Bomb to feed it to the back door for Staub instead of going for a shot that likely would have been blocked, as that'll take us into immediate timeout with the Wildcats leading 2-1, a one-goal advantage. Shots on goal 15-3 in favor of the Cats, according to the big board here at the American Bank Center. Corner with you as we are coming to you from the Coastal Bend, the Gulf of Mexico, just out the window to our left. One of the most beautiful views for junior hockey in the entire country, that's for sure. Something I just noticed on that power play, and actually I thought I had noticed it before, Anthony Cortez, Wes Michaud, and more or less Ryan Kuzin basically played that entire 2-minute power play without coming to the bench for a change. Speaks to, number one, how highly regarded their offensive ability is and how much the power play revolves around them, but also speaks to their conditioning level, that they're able to take those extra 2 minutes and not really lose any step at all later in the game. Faceoff will be in the offensive zone of the Wildcats, coming to the right of Andrew Lindgren. Faceoff will be taken to the right of Lindgren. APAP will take it, going against Mason Kruger. Off the draw. Controlled here by Logan Jestro, who chipped it forward. Skipped over the stick of Kuzmeski. He'll turn around and chop it along. Loses out, but fishes it right back. Got it for Albrecht. Now Kuzmeski looking to gallop forward. Has it jabbed away from him. Skates on. Here's Kuzmeski. Hooked along here, but he couldn't get it to a teammate as Kruger got his skates in the way. Kruger plays this one off the glass as it comes along to this near side to be played by Albrecht. Tries to go down the wall. It was blocked, but in the neutral zone, Albrecht will turn this one over. Look out, here's Kruger. Nice jab there by Azanaro. One-hand sweep play to keep this one from being in the offensive zone for too long. Sent back in deep here by the IceRays. Delayed offside is wiped out as they tagged up at the blue line. Jabbed along here nicely there by APAP, and once more by APAP, but he couldn't get it past Cronon as a loose puck in the neutral zone is picked up by Kuzmeski. Backhanded along to Lazarus in front of his own bench. Here is Lazarus towards the net. Spilled there by Lindgren. Didn't track that one very well as we have 8:10 remaining in this second period. Wildcats wearing their road black sweaters, holding a 2-1 lead. They're skating from left to right across your screen. That's Q to P across your keyboard if you're joining us on the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Look out there in the IceRays bench as Frankie Melton went headhunting for his head coach, John Mechanic, as he was trying to jab it down the ice to negate an icing. 8:01 remaining in the second period. The faceoff will be in the neutral zone, and that'll take us to a media timeout once more, as we have to get both in quickly after a couple of power plays prevented the first one from happening earlier in the period. Hey fans, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that playoff tickets will be on sale soon, so stay tuned to the Wildcats Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and WFWildcatsHockey.com for all the latest playoff news and notes as the season hits the final stretch run. It's going to be a little bit before we know who the Wildcats are playing and in what round, but as soon as we know, you will know. That is for sure. Faceoff will be right in front of the Wildcats bench in the neutral zone. Reisinger, Subri, and Hinchin out there, along with Bauman Townsend, the defenseman for Wichita Falls. Well-played game thus far. Right now, it's the top line of the Wildcats, Bolio, Staub, and Litviak, who have done all the damage on the score sheet for the Cats. Townsend at his own blue line off that faceoff. Up the ice for Subri. Subri protects along for Reisinger. Reisinger couldn't corral it cleanly, but was able to scoop it into the offensive zone. But a penalty upcoming here, and it's going to be against the IceRays. Second one of the night, it's going to be a boarding call, as I don't know if it was Reisinger or Townsend who took a big hard bump. But either way, the Cats will head to the man advantage for the second time tonight. LeBurn serving 2 minutes for boarding. Cats 1 for 1 on the power play thus far. And it took them all of 7 seconds to find the back of the net on their first opportunity. Off will be to Lindgren's right, Litviak, Bolio, Staub, Townsend, and Cam Knight out there for the Cats. This is a unit that did the damage the first time round. Westmeath shot to take the draw for Corpus Christi. Litviak getting into it here on the near side. One back to the blue line for Cam Knight by Townsend towards the net. Chipped around there off the leg of Staub. Bolio chops at this one, goes high up into the air. Glove down here by Carl, as this one will escape the reach of Cam Knight and trickle down the ice. Directing traffic from the bench was John Mechanic, telling his guys to sit back, do not forecheck, as Cam Knight will take some open ice and give to Austin Bolio now. Bolio weaving over the blue line into the offensive zone, tries to go for Staub, held there nicely by Bolio at the point, led along for Knight. Townsend right circle, holds shot, looking for the top corner, and he got the glass. Bolio, Knight once more at the blue line, back for Bolio left circle, he'll dust this one off, play along for Knight, middle of the blue line. Knight, back for Bolio left circle, walking down, holding shot, oh, and a blocker save there, as Litviak picks up the rebound. Great save by Lindgren, as Bolio had found some room at the top corner. Here is Townsend now. Townsend on this near side wall. He'll square up at the right point. Plays it down along there, looking for Litviak. Instead, it runs for Staub. Staub hooked back along for Bolio now. Bolio with a minute remaining in the Cats power play. Knight back for Bolio at the left circle. Now it's Staub looking to go in front. Loose puck there, jabbed away and cleared. Wildcats will change. 6:35 remaining in this second period. They'll come right back up the ice as Bolio steps in on side. Bolio along for Farmer. Instead, it's Apap now. Apap left it there for Farmer. Farmer wasn't ready for it, and it's cleared all the way down the ice. Shaw aggressively out of his cage here. Thought about going up the ice instead. We'll leave it for Cam Knight. Knight in his own zone in the last 25 of the Wildcats power play. 6:10 remaining in this second period. Knight to the red line. Plays this one hard off the glass. Racing onto this one here are the IceRays, and they'll chop this into the neutral zone, but that will go up and out of play, and that will see the faceoff stay in the Wildcats offensive zone. Well, on second thought, they'll move it back into the neutral zone. Brennan overruled his colleague Rivera. So neutral zone faceoff, 6:04 remaining in the second, 16 seconds remaining on the Cats power play, as they lead 2-1, as they had some good puck movement from that first unit, but weren't able to get anything past Lindgren. Apap wasn't ready for that pass. He got a leg onto that pass up the ice, but it carried along for Cortez. Cortez all the way down the ice into the catching glove of Shaw. We're back to 5-on-5 play as Kosmeski runs it around to the far side for Albrecht. Albrecht left it there for Kosmeski. Kosmeski now for Apap. Apap pass through the middle, intercepted in front of his own bench. He'll dig it loose and play in deep as Albrecht will hustle in after it. Cortez the first to it there. Now it's Jestro. Jestro on the near side had his pocket picked as an arrow takes it in the neutral zone. Has some trouble with it, pitchforks it up the ice, but it's onto the stick of Jestro. Jestro. This one eludes the stick of Kosmeski. Kosmeski thought about chasing this one down. Shaw steps out of his cage to play it and moved it for As an Arrow. As an Arrow, this is going to go for icing here as the pass was nowhere close to Reisinger. 5:13 remaining in the second. 2-1, the Wildcats holding on to their lead just barely. Shots on goal are 16-13 in favor of the Wildcats, but in the period, they are 6-4 in favor of the IceRays. Cats leading 2-1, 2 goals for Colin Staub and a goal for Joe Chitwood for Corpus Christi, and that is where we stand if you're just joining us on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Wildcats cleared only as far as the blue line. Down low it goes. As an Arrow, poked it away from Connor Kelly. Tired at the end of his shift. He'll hustle along and get it along back behind the net for Kosmeski. Kosmeski for Reisinger now. Reisinger loses this one just outside the red line. Now Kuzin is going to have a break-in. Kuzin right circle. Oh, alone shot. Saved there by Shaw. Oh, and a diving play on the back check by Subri. Did just enough to put him off. Kuzin with it once more. Slap shot blocked in front. Loose puck lands on the stick of Reisinger. That was a brave block there by Austin Hinchin, sacrificing the body. Offside play here as Reisinger wasn't able to take it into the zone cleanly. 4:37 remaining in the second. Not quite sure how that happened, but Kuzin had a break-in from the blue line in from the right point, and at the right circle, Shaw made the left pad save. Subri did just enough to put him off on a flying back check, and then Austin Hinchin, there's too many Austins on this team. Austin Hinchin came up with a big block on a big one-timer by Kuzin in the high slot. Oakley stepping forward off the draw, couldn't pull the trigger on a bouncing puck towards the net. Lindgren spilled it, and play will move on. 4:30 remaining. Popped high up into the air. Glove down here by Cronon. Oakley took it away. In front, Farmer handcuffed there as he couldn't get it on net. Farmer back behind the cage, he'll go. Oakley gloves this one down, punches it to himself, gets a stick to it here, so no hand pass. Far side, Farmer wasn't able to hold the zone as this is trickled down the ice here by Howe. He got around Matt Cook. Now here's Howe with a step and a good sweep check there by Cook. Kruger will take it there to the far side corner. Trying to dig it loose was Matt Cook as Howe gets involved. Behind the net it runs as Oakley picks this one up. Oakley, his pass, dangerous, but Sheridan moved it along for Farmer as Farmer gains the red line. He had a great chance a moment ago, but if he were a left-handed shot, it would have been great. Instead, it was into his skates, and he could only shank it wide. Inside the last 4 minutes of this second period, as this is Carl trying to go all the way down the ice. Cook traps it in his skates, goes ahead here. Sheridan now with the step. Sheridan getting hooked, one hand, puck loose there. Lindgren swept it away from danger. Sheridan was shielding off the back checker with one hand and swept it on net with the other, as this is Staub digging it loose in the neutral zone. Now it's Baum. Nice rag away from some traffic. He'll curl up the ice at his own blue line. Gave it to Bolio there. Bolio in onside at the left point. Towards the front of the net. Here's Staub. Staub all the way in front. No goal. Thought it went in, but they say no goal. Krasachuk right on top of it, to be fair. Townsend now, fans on this one, gets it back, walks towards the middle, finds a shooting lane, shot blocked in front there as the Wildcats almost doubled their lead. Bolio now, his shot and a glove save by Lindgren. 3:01 remaining in the second. Staub had a chance in front. He thought it went in. Krasachuk, the referee, right on top of it, and he waved it off immediately. The red light never went on either. 3:01 remaining in the second. The Wildcats that close to making it 2-1. And we'll also say this, not too many protests from the guys in the black sweaters, so that would make you think that Krasachuk, who's had a good weekend thus far, had gotten the call right. Face off to the right of Lindgren in the final 3 minutes and 1 second of this period. Here's Baum, now it's Townsend. Townsend walking to the right wall, tries to go towards the net, blocked there by Lomzis. Townsend gets it right back. Now it's Baum. Baum towards the net, deflected in front there, and it didn't go all the way through. Bad step there by Townsend as it's a 2-on-1 up the ice. Look out here. Here's a shot, goes wide of the cage there off the stick of Nick LeBurn. Townsend wasn't able to clear. Second attempt, he'll pick this one up and jab it along. Punch to the neutral zone by Lazarus as Tanner Lomzis will take. Lomzis left behind here by Jestro. Lazarus picks up the loose puck on the far side wall. Kicked up the ice for Albrecht into the zone. Here's Albrecht with Lazarus in the middle. In front, Lazarus sent it just wide. Lazarus goes up the wall. Wildcats in the midst of a change. Cam Knight will take this one and turn up ahead for Albrecht. Albrecht was skating back towards his own blue line. Now curls up the ice. In front for Lazarus, who's had a good weekend, but thus far nothing to show for his efforts. Here's Lazarus once more towards the net, sealed wide there by Lindgren. Loose puck here. Subri wasn't able to reach it, but Cook has it in the neutral zone for the Cats once more. Turned over here, though, walking forward, as this is Lomsness, leaving it for Liliev, as Lomsness came to the bench for a change. Shaw thought about covering this one up and will cover it up after Reisinger mishandled. A minute 53 remaining in the second period. Great centering pass there by Albrecht. I think Lazarus, as he was lunging forward on his forehand, might have bounced on him just a little bit as it got all the way through. And as he was trying to push it inside the post, it went just wide. Oh, the Wildcats, if it were a little bit different, a centimeter here, a millimeter there, they could be leading 4-1. Instead, the score 2-1, still in favor of the Cats, is off the faceoff in the final 2 minutes of this second period. Here's Nikita Litviak. Litviak wheels away from traffic, charges up the ice. Olsen will take this one away from Colin Staub, who wanted the headman pass. Now Bolio sweeps at this one, giving a good hard run there, but play continues as this is into the offensive zone of the Cats once more. Bolio puts this one on the glass. Glove down here in the neutral zone. Bolio walks in on side off a loose puck. Pressed into the wall there was Bolio towards the front of the net. Litviak hooks it free. Litviak in front there wanting Staub, and as he was tumbling to the ice, Staub will pick up the loose disc. Here is Staub, pressed hard into the wall. Litviak trying to get involved as well as a two-a-side battle develops in the last minute 15 of the second period as we approach the final minute of play in the frame, brought to you by La Quinta Inn and Suites. Here's Bolio, backhander save there by Lindgren, and Litviak will skate away from some traffic there. Great work by Staub in the corner to win it towards the front of the net. Bolio on his backhand couldn't get it past Lindgren. 1:08 remaining in the second, and after the IceRays had a good early surge thanks to a couple of power play opportunities, the Wildcats have had a good surge of their own. Shots on goal 19-14 in favor of the Cats thus far, according to the big board here at the American Bank Center. 2-1 the score. Minute 8 remaining in the second. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as the faceoff is scrummed for. Finally, it's pulled loose by Oakley. Oakley on the far side corner. Stumbles a bit but maintains possession. Seals off his man and kicked it along for Farmer. Farmer trying to hook out in front. Spins away to the right wing corner instead where Jestro will throw him into the wall. Last minute of play in the period as there's 50 seconds remaining and it's wheeled up the ice. Here is Cortez. Mishandles but he'll collect on this near side wall. Blows a tire. Knight. Nice step inside his man. Knight will skate forward. The Wildcats have numbers if they hurry. Here is Knight at the right circle. His shot saved by Lindgren with 35.4 seconds remaining. And normally, as the score is 2-1 and the Cats will get an offensive zone draw, normally you'd want your guy to shoot for a rebound there. But if you noticed, both defensemen had stepped up for the Wildcats, as that meant if Knight had shot for a rebound and it landed on the stick of the IceRays, the Cats would have been in trouble going back the other way. So, heady play there by Cam Knight, the North Reading Mass native. Face-off is knocked towards this near side half wall. Apap is taking the face-off instead of Reisinger, who is not playing on this shift at the moment, as Apap will dig it loose. Subriel on the far side wall as well. Here is Kuzin. He has some trouble with this one. Turned over. This is Apap unable to pull it free. Now Kuzin charges up the ice once more. Has a step on Cook. Cook with a good reach, but Michaud gets it. Dusts it off. Loading shot. Still with it is Michaud. To the blue line. Trailing play. Cronon shot. Diving block. Loose puck there. They swat for it. It's at the top of the blue paint. And Shaw will cover up. Oh, what mayhem. As Hinchin getting a good little face wash there from his man. I think that's Cortez. That's Ndidi. Rather, Connor Kelly. Hinchin skating away. 1.1 seconds remaining. Michaud pump faked once, twice, 3 times. Fed Cronon. And a great sprawling block there by Apap. Then, fanning on it in the high slot was Cortez. And Shaw somehow, someway managed to cover up that bouncing disc. 1.1 second remaining in the second period. Wildcats are leading 2-1. Could have been 3-1, could have been 4-1, but by that same token, could have been 2-2 just a moment ago. Cronon put his hands on his head after he let that shot go and had it blocked. He knew that was a grade A look. So the faceoff will have to be on net immediately from the IceRays, as Connor Kelly getting told to get out of the circle, please. Bob will just try and lock up on the draw and make sure that this one is not played back cleanly. Face off towards the net, save, loose puck, and the horn sounds. Well, Corpus Christi did exactly what they needed to do, pulled it back, got a quick shot on from the shooting hole from Wes Michaud, but Shaw made the save, and the horn sounded. So, at the end of 2 periods of play, Colin Staub's second tally of the night has the Wildcats in the lead, 2-1, with 40 minutes in the books. Shots on goal, 20-15 in the contest in favor of the Wildcats. We'll step aside and break it all down on the other side of the break. Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue after this here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back in a moment. Period is now in the books. 40 minutes played here at the American Bank Center. Good crowd here tonight at the American Bank Center here in Corpus Christi. Wildcats are leading 2-1 as goal scored by Colin Staub in the first period and at 47 seconds of the second period. As the Wildcats leading 2-1, they have a 1-goal edge entering the third period, but that is where they were last night, as now we'll go back to Friday evening's contest. Lazarus might get a step on film. Quick shot, oh, he rang the crossbar. Might have been off the post as well. Lazarus shook free, but couldn't beat the post. Lazarus first to it there, overskated as this is Olsen behind the net. Nice play by Falconer along the wall to get played back. Tries to feed Oakley. Now it's a 2-on-1 for the IceRays. Here's Gioshvili has a man in the middle. Gioshvili walking in. Loose puck. Where is it? Shaw has it covered, and we get the whistle. Shoving it down in the neutral zone and turning it back off the wall for a teammate. That was Reisinger from Cook, as Reisinger couldn't work it free. Towards the front of the net here. Shaw will direct it along for Cam Knight. Knight turned it over. Loose puck. They score. What happened there? 17:09 remaining in the first. Knight gave it right away behind his own net. Someone stepped out in front and puts it home, and the Wildcats trail. Wildcats penalty kill, 72.8%, dead last in road PK. Cross ice settling here towards the middle. No goal. Townsend kicked it off the line. He doesn't even have a stick. How did it not go? Now it's Cortez. Here's Gioshvili. Fought off by Shaw, and he'll cover the rebound. How big will that moment be? Mashad pump faked at the right circle, fed it back towards the middle for Cortez, and somehow Townsend kept that one from going. Mesky in his own zone, wants Townsend, finds Townsend, got it up the ice for Sheridan. Back to the near side wall for Farmer. Farmer in front of his own bench, plays this one towards the cage, they score! Oh my! It skipped right in front of Lindgren, and Farmer, who is halfway onto the bench, is celebrating. Oh, what a break for the Wildcats. It bounced right in front of Lindgren, changed direction slightly. Farmer is going to pick up his 21st of the year, and it's a bit of a gift, but they won't complain. 1-1 the score with 11:04 remaining in the second. Kelly, his shot deflects just wide of the cage there, as in front wanting a tip was Kruger. He got to stick to it, but sent it just wide. Kruger, now to Kelly. Kruger once more, left circle, walking towards Cam Knight. Knight forces him back. Kelly. The right point. That was Jessica who wants it. Jessica gets it back. His pass intercepted. Now Bolio could be on a breakaway. Instead, here's Colin Staub. Short-handed. Here's Staub. Looking to feed Cook. His shot scores! Matt Cook scores short-handed. His 7th of the year. And the Wildcats take the lead with 10:19 remaining in the second period. The Wildcats have taken the lead on a short-handed tally, as this is to the middle of the blue line and Cortez. Moved it along to West Michaud, quarterbacking things. He'll move to the middle of the line and gets it back. Here's Michaud, backdoor pass, wants it back, fed through the middle, they score. In front it was Gioshvili, so just like that, the lead lasted all of maybe 15 seconds, and we're back to 2-2. Here is Albrecht in the neutral zone from Cook once more. Jabbed it along. Look out. Here's Michaud walking into the zone. Michaud, his shot, well wide of the cage. He was looking for a tip in front. Kuzin, drop pass to the point. Olsen towards the net. Locked down in front here. Now it could be a race. Here is Albrecht. Gaining the zone with Azanaro. Drop pass Azanaro towards the net. Wide of the cage. Reisinger follows up. Bumped off the wall. Knight has it at the right point. Knight walks down the wall. Picks a pass. Here's Albrecht, and he couldn't hook it home. Wrap around chest. They score! Austin Azanaro loses his stick, but he jammed the puck home, and the Wildcats lead 3-2 with 6:31 remaining in the second. More important things at hand here. The Wildcats need to kill this penalty off with 7:36 remaining in the third. Abab, instead it's Colford. Thought about a one-timer, instead to the point for Cortez. Now here's Kuzin. Here's Colford, settling shot, blocked in front, caroming around, and they score. That was easy. West Michaud, 9 seconds remaining. Take a penalty against one of the best power plays in the league. Guess what happens? We're back to level pegging with 7:27 left. Shaw never saw that rebound, and that was the easiest goal Michaud's going to score this year. In front! scores! Broken play in front. Gio Feely walked around Shaw, pump faked once, pump faked twice, and then scored, and the Cats trail. It has been coming. The faceoffs in the defensive zone have been burning the Wildcats for the last few weeks, and it happens again. 5 minutes remaining in this third period. The Cats all of a sudden trailing 4-3. Lazarus walking into the offensive zone. Here's Lazarus. Lazarus sent it wide of the post. He had the goaltender down. Stop, hooked it down low. It was intercepted there. If he had got it to the right-hand side, it would have been a chance. Instead, it's Kosmeski. Back along his own blue line for Colin Staub. 80 seconds remaining. The Wildcats might see this one slip away. Staub spins off one and now two checks. Now it's APAP in the left circle. Centering for Staub. Shot. Staub again. Scores! A minute 11 left in the contest. Staub's shot was saved. He followed up the rebound and throws it home, and it's 4-4. Mishad wheeling into the zone. Mishad, here's a chance. They score. Broken play. Kruger. 39 seconds into the overtime. The Wildcats lose. It's 5-3 in the second intermission. Michigan and Johnstown are playing there in Johnstown. As I mentioned, the Warriors holding the lead. They desperately need to sweep this series. They got the win last night, and a win tonight would, at the very least, pull them within a point of the Tomahawks, although they have played 2 more games. Sioux picked up a big 4-1 win over the Keystone Ice Miners. That gives them a little bit of breathing room in the fight for the second home ice spot in the North Division, as it's all a formality in terms of first place. Janesville has run away with that one. They are now the regular season champions after they picked up their 3-2 win last night. Speaking of the Jets, 3-3 the score between them and the Minnesota Magicians, who are coming on strong as they try to hit their stride entering the playoffs. They're in the second intermission there. We'll keep an eye on that one, but the Magicians playing teams much closer and much tighter over the last month and a half, 2 months, and they're getting rewarded for their efforts. 3-2, the Bruins hold the lead over the Minnesota Wilderness now. Both of those teams in a dogfight for the top spot in their respective divisions. Austin 5 points ahead of Minot, but 2 more games played in the Central, while the Wilderness have played 3 fewer games than the Ice Dogs, but trail by 2 points. 2-2 in the second intermission between the Springfield Junior Blues and the Cooley Region Chill. That one kind of a foregone, that one not too much importance in that one, as Cooley Region is locked into third place and Springfield is all but eliminated from the playoff picture. The Ice Dogs leading 3-2 over the Bismarck Bobcats through 40 minutes of play there. 1-1 between the Aberdeen Wings and the Brookings Blizzard in Aberdeen, after Brookings picked up a big 2-1 win last night to keep their playoff hopes alive. They trail the Wings for the 4th and final spot in the Central Division by 3 points, but the Blizzard have played 2 fewer games than the Aberdeen Wings. One to watch for sure, as a lot of races going right down to the wire in the North American Hockey League. And they are underway in Minot. Zeros across the board between the Kenai River Brown Bears and the Minotauros. They are through 20 minutes of action. We'll keep an eye on those scores, especially the ones around the South Division, for the remainder of the night, and we'll keep you updated on what's going on in Odessa, Amarillo, Rio Grande Valley, and more. That'll do it on the Jerry Sporting Goods Out of Town Scoreboard Report, and that'll wrap it up on our second intermission show. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the third period of action from the American Bank Center. Wildcats clinging to a 2-1 lead as we enter the final frame. We don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing just after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network.